Did you see what Johnny Depp shared this Sunday? No? You really should. Because this wasn't just another celebrity post. It wasn't a product plug. It wasn't a rehearsed PR statement or some generic inspirational quote slapped on a fancy background. It wasn't something you just scroll past without feeling anything. No, this one was different. It was quiet. It was simple. And yet somehow, it hit like a wave. The kind of thing you read and then just stop for a second. You stop scrolling. You stop thinking about what's next. And you just let yourself feel it. Because in a world where social media often feels fake, curated, plastic, this felt real. Tell me something honestly. When was the last time something on your feed actually made you pause? Not because it shocked you, or made you angry, or made you want to roll your eyes, but because it actually touched you? Be honest with yourself. If you're like most of us, it's probably been a while. And that's not your fault. We've all gotten used to noise. Every day there's another headline screaming for your attention, another argument, another picture-perfect life being paraded in front of you that feels more like an ad than a moment. And that's why Johnny's little Sunday message felt like a breath of fresh air. Because it was none of those things. It was just human. And in being human, it reminded all of us that sometimes the smallest gestures can feel like the biggest ones. So here's what happened. Let me walk you through it, step by step. Because the details matter here. It was early in the morning, at least in LA time. Johnny posted a black and white photo on his story. No big announcement. No caption screaming at you to pay attention. Just a quiet little snapshot of himself. He was sitting by a window. You could tell the light coming through was soft, maybe early sunlight. The guitar was resting on his lap, but he wasn't playing it, not yet, anyway. He was just sitting there. Looking down at the floor, lost in thought, maybe. There was something beautiful about the simplicity of it. No filters. No perfect angles. No flashy editing. Just Johnny being Johnny. And at the bottom of the screen, in plain white letters, it said, "Even when it feels like nobody sees you, know that I do. And you matter." That's it. 16 words. And somehow, those 16 words carried more weight than 100 empty speeches ever could. You matter. 3 little syllables that, for some people reading them, might have been the first time in a long time they'd heard those words at all. And coming from him? That hit differently. If you've followed his story, and let's be honest, even if you haven't, you've probably heard bits of it, you know he's been through it. More than most of us ever will. He's been cheered and booed. Put on a pedestal and torn down. Painted as the villain, then redeemed. Picked apart by people who don't even know him. Judged by strangers for choices he didn't always get to explain. He's been called everything. And yet here he is, turning around and telling the rest of us, the quiet ones, the overlooked ones, you matter. That kind of empathy doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from experience. From knowing what it's like to feel invisible. To feel like you're shouting into a void and nobody's really listening. So he posted that. And then, a few hours later, he added another little story. This time it was a short video clip. You could hear a soft melody, just him strumming his guitar, nothing fancy, no words. And over it, another little line appeared on the screen. Hope your Sunday feels a little lighter. That's Johnny. No fanfare. No big production. Just a reminder that even if your world feels heavy, even if you're carrying things nobody else can see, it's okay to put them down for a moment. Even if just for today. And what happened next was beautiful. The fans noticed. The comments and replies started pouring in. Thousands of them. People sharing their own stories. Their own invisible battles. One person wrote, "I've been struggling so much lately, and this was exactly what I needed to see today." Another said, "You'll never know how much this means to me. Thank you for noticing us." And Johnny? He didn't just post and log off. He stayed. He replied to some of them. Little red hearts. A couple of smiley faces. Simple acknowledgements, but powerful. Because for those people, that little notification saying Johnny Depp liked your comment might have been the only good thing that happened to them all week. There was even one comment that broke my heart and healed it at the same time. It said, "You saved me today." And Johnny replied, "We all need saving sometimes." Think about that for a second. How many celebrities do you see actually taking the time to remind their fans, not their brand, not their followers, but real, breathing people, that they're not alone? How many of them see beyond the numbers and into the hearts? And here's something we don't talk about enough: you never really know who needs to hear it. Sometimes it's the strongest looking person in the room. The one who never cries in front of anyone. The one who always makes the jokes. Or it's the coworker who's always on time, always polite, always keeping it together. Or maybe, it's you. Pretending everything's fine, smiling on the outside, carrying the weight of the world inside. And then, someone somewhere, even someone you've never met, says something simple. You matter. And suddenly, something inside you softens. The walls come down, even just a little. And for a moment, you believe them. That's what Johnny gave people today. So here's what I think we can all take away from his message. First, remember, you matter. You're not invisible. Even if it feels like nobody notices, someone sees you. Even if they're a stranger halfway across the world. Second, it's okay to be soft. To let your guard down. People think kindness and vulnerability are weaknesses. But they're not. They're what make us human. And third, don't wait for the perfect moment to tell someone how much they mean to you. There's no perfect moment. Just say it. A text, a hug, a quiet word in passing. Sometimes the simplest things are the most important. Now here's a little tip, a kind of pro move Johnny himself has leaned on for years. Music. If you're ever overwhelmed, if the world feels too loud, if you feel stuck, pick up an instrument. Or put on your favorite song. Hum to yourself. Dance in your kitchen. It doesn't matter if you're any good. It's not about being good. It's about letting yourself feel something. Even psychologists say music lowers stress, helps you process emotions, even resets your brain chemistry. And here's another thing they say: small acts of kindness, like what Johnny did today, don't just help the person you're kind to. They help you too. Doing something kind boosts your own mood. Lowers your anxiety. Helps you sleep better at night. So maybe take a page out of Johnny's book. Smile at someone. Hold the door open. Send a random "thinking of you" text. You never know whose day you might change. And you never know how much it might change yours, too. Before we finish, I want to ask you something. What's one small thing someone has said to you, maybe even years ago, that you've never forgotten? Think about it for a second. Let it come to you. And if you feel like sharing, drop it in the comments. I'd love to read your stories. And if Johnny's message today reminded you to breathe a little deeper, to slow down for a second, to let yourself be seen, then stick around. There's another video coming up right after this, where we talk about more celebrities who've shared heartfelt lessons that help their fans feel a little less alone. And hey, if you enjoyed hanging out here today, I'd be grateful if you gave this video a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And don't forget to tap that little bell, that way you'll always know when there's a new moment waiting for you here. Because you matter here too. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you in the next one.